EliGE is still NA's best player, and I'm going to show you why you're not going to be wiping that smile off his face anytime soon. Before any of you Twist fans come into this video hating on me, first I want you to know I am solely judging by a player's impact for their team. And so Twist, with his roles on FaZe, is always going to have a very hard time stacking up against EliGE, who has the best roles on Liquid. Oh, and also, I am a massive FaZe fan and have been picking FaZe to win the big tournaments lately and just keep on winning, baby. I am solely talking about which NA player is going to have the most impact for the rest of the year. And I'm going to tell you why I think that is definitely going to be EliGE with some of the role changes and with some of the adaptations he has made since he's been playing with Yakinda. Let's start, as all Counter-Strike games do, in the pistol round, where EliGE goes solo mid initially, lands this brilliant shot to get the man advantage before rejoining the rest of his team towards B at the back of the pack. Already, EliGE going solo mid like this is something we're not necessarily used to seeing from him, but here in the pistol round, he does have the P250, which is better at range, so that could explain some of these role changes. You get to see just how good he can be in these late round positions, though, as he goes ahead and farms frags here in the pistol. Into one of the early rounds, you can see EliGE here with the hero AK is still willing to go for some of those aggressive fights we're used to seeing from him, especially here where he knows he has to be the man to make a play to open up the round with the only rifle. But in a lot of the defaults for Liquid, he was actually playing solo connector instead of in the front of the pack like I'm used to seeing from him. In this one, for example, we get the molly and then this lurk smoke into con, which EliGE use quite often when defaulting in this position. And then as the round ticks on down, it's left in a 2v4 with the Tech 9. And again, putting EliGE's aim in these late round scenarios almost feels like a cheat code as he gets this first kill and then continues to work around to somehow end up closing out this 2v4. This is a play that I think is hella underrated from Cologne, because goddamn, these are some great shots. And the reason he's allowed to have this impact is because of the role changes Liquid said they went through before Cologne, which is opening up EliGE's game to play both aggressively and in these late round positions. And being in some of these late rounds could definitely suit EliGE, as he has always been someone who has thought very hard about the game. Just check out this podcast he did with DDK years ago to look at how much he really thinks about every aspect of the game. The thing I love about this is that he is still meshing both styles. For example, in the very next round, he goes back to being that hard entry player for Liquid, and you can see some of the difficulties of being a star player while being an entry, as EliGE never gets the chance to use his exquisite aim as he can't pinpoint the position of the opponents in this round. Although I should also point out, occasionally he would get caught out in his defaulting towards connector too, like in this round where he loses this duel. But this is to be expected, and at least he dodged the flash and got a somewhat fair fight. When it was coming down to crunch time, Liquid went back to sending EliGE in first in the last couple of rounds of regulation. And in both of these rounds, he does a really good job at just somehow finding that one kill to try and break open the bomb site for Liquid. And again, he's not losing this side of his game, which is incredibly impactful in opening up the round for his team. It's just sometimes he is being left in those late round scenarios where he can also be incredibly effective. And the thing I love most about seeing EliGE in these late round scenarios is he has that uncanny ability that only real standout players have to make rounds look winnable even when they have no right of being close. Like this 2v4 where it looks almost impossible under time pressure, but he got that first kill, gets towards the bomb site, nearly fumbles the bomb plant, but gets it down in time. And then with just 9 bullets remaining, these initial headshots are unbelievable to make this round somewhat winnable. And unfortunately, he can't quite pull it over the line, but god damn, the fact that that's even close in overtime is incredible. There was another close 2v4, this time working with Naf in the clutch, which I feel like is always going to be a lot of fun if you ever get these two together in the clutch. First spots out Taco being boosted up, then figures there's going to be another player in water, so makes sure to coordinate wisely with Naf so he can pick up that trade frag. And then from there, it's all about the guessing game in the 1v1, which sadly this time, again, doesn't go EliGE's way. But you're seeing that he is going to win some of these clutches if he's put in enough of them. And again, just a reminder, this is still being mixed in with some rounds where he does take the initiative, like this one here in overtime, where he is able to get that initial opening kill. So the fact he can have impact in these early round scenarios when needed, and also sometimes now in later round scenarios, thanks to some of the roles he switched to, is going to be a real benefit to his individual level of play. EliGE wasn't only playing away from the pack more on overpass though. Here on Mirage, for example, he's the man left solo around mid trying to make plays, does a nice job at catching this player in window initially, and then moves into connector while his teammates are taking the A site, so he can just be the player cutting off those rotates and eventually even just getting a nice easy kill over onto the A site after his teammates have gathered all that sweet pineapple juice. I give a sweet Jesus Christ, Jack Harlow. No, I was going to say sweet info. What the hell are you talking about? Honestly, top 10 cringiest bars of the year from Jack Harlow. Coming in clutch right there. But seriously, gather that info, make it nice and easy for him. EliGE's going to get those kills all day long, baby. We get to see more of just the straight-up lurking here in round 7 as his teammates are fully taking the A site. EliGE is left completely alone on this B side of the map where he's able to lurk through the apartments, and 00 Nation have no clue he is coming. He gets this freebie from behind onto Taco, and now take a look at the minimap. 00 Nation are forced to respond to EliGE. They have to send one player rotating over. That opens up this A plant while EliGE is playing from mid, so they can plant on that triple side of the box. Oh, and also, EliGE even gets this kill at the end here, locking Lato out. I'm sure he is giving Lato that smile and those piercing eyes as he locks in this round for Liquid, and again shows us what he can do on some of these lurks that we're not used to seeing him in. I am going to make sure to mix in some of these early round kills he was getting too, even though none of these need too much analysis. They're just good examples of EliGE playing solid, getting good impact, and when he was getting fought towards mid, he was almost always holding his own and winning these early fights for his team, which we know he's very capable of doing. And it is also worth mentioning, with the way the team was set up here at Cologne, it seemed like Liquid had 3 options for their early round aggressions. Either Yakindar would maybe go and do something completely by himself, EliGE would sometimes be the entry, or sometimes it would be Nitro going in first and then EliGE playing right behind him to trade, which obviously, again, EliGE is very effective at. Oh, and by the way, EliGE was also saving this M4A1S on T side whenever he could, which is something I'm not really seeing anyone else do, so I'd love to ask him about that at some point. And as a lovely little bonus for those of you that made it to the end of the video, one of the most beautiful things about EliGE's playstyle when he was playing solo towards mid was a lot of the different looks he would give and how he was so good at staying proactive in this position. For example, right here, he sneaks into connector for the first kill, but then goes back and makes that jump into window to be able to cut off that rotating player from B, and it's another great headshot to get a nice double kill. In this one, it's actually pretty common for CTs to play back towards window like this and wait to see if anyone tries to jump up into window. So by using this advanced angle up top, he can just spot the legs of this player sitting back and get another nice kill onto Art. And by the way, EliGE went 13-1 against Art in this map, which is just bonkers. Seriously, when was the last time you died 13 times to the same guy in a map? I mean, it went to overtime, but still, that's just ludicrous. And these final 3 overtime rounds are genuinely a thing of beauty. In this first one, his teammate is jumping into window as he starts to sneak through the connector smoke, so he knows the player in jungle will be distracted. That allows him to get out into stairs safely and sneak over towards A for this free kill in the back. Then in the second one, again, he plays nice and proactively around mid and eventually turns it into this pretty standard kill towards short, but still a nice impactful one. And then in this final round, instead of the distraction being through window, This time, the distraction is through connector towards A. Keisarato's attention is fully drawn towards the players who are leaving top connector, and EliGE is playing this nice elevated angle towards mid, which allows him to play proactively off his teammates' contact. As soon as he realizes Keisarato is distracted, he can push in from behind for an easy kill. And I'm just going to let the rest of this clip play out because it's EliGE and Yakindar working their magic in the clutch. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you think someone else is going to be the best NA player this year, comment below. I'd love to have that discussion with you. Oh, and also check out this video here I made on Carrigan and FaZe's rise to the top.